That's exactly right. Oh, gosh. Bon appetit. Midnight. Yeah.
Good morning. Today is 5/30/2023. The time is now 9:01. I'm Kevin Day, Chair of the Custer County Board of Commissioners, and I will call this meeting of the Board of Commissioners to order. If you do have your cell phones, please silence them at this time. And if you would join me for the pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And join me for the invocation, please. Father, and we thank you for this day that you've given us. We thank you for the opportunity that we have to come together and to take care of business. We ask that as we meet here today, that you would be with us, that you would be our guide, that you would direct us, and that you would guard us in our thoughts, our words, and our actions. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Okay, Kelly, could we get a roll call, please?
Commissioner Day,
Present.
Commissioner Kanda,
Here.
Commissioner Flower,
Present.
and clerk to the board, Kelly Camper, present.
Okay. And audience introductions. We'll start with you, Lisa.
Lisa Bivens, Finance and HR. Kanda Day, Wentworth.
Deb Adams, Custer County Tourism.
And Jennifer Cree, admin to the board.
All right, thank you. If anybody goes to speak later, if you could identify yourself for the record, I would greatly appreciate that. And I don't think we have anyone online at this time. Okay. And you put those minutes out for next week, right?
No, I did it for today.
Oh, I messed up then.
Okay, they're not on the agenda.
They,
I
in the
guess,
past, they haven't had to be on the
Okay.
agenda. If you guys read them, that, I don't, it's up to you.
I've been through them. Can
I
you-
move we accept the minutes that she put in without putting them in on the
And
agenda,
those were from
whatever dates they, but I did see them.
May
16.
16th. So that'd be May 16th. So I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
I have a motion on the floor to approve the minutes as presented from May 16th, 2023. Any discussion on those?
Looks good to me.
They're fine.
All right. Those in favor of approving the minutes for May 16th signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. That motion carries. Commissioner items, let's start with Commissioner Flower today.
Thank you, sir. Let's see. Meetings and activities I attended on the 17th, this is since our last commissioner meeting. We did have a Custer County Recycles Board meeting, met down in the basement. And then we had a housing, attainable housing board meeting I attended on the 16th. 17th, we all attended the Upper Arkansas Area Council of Governments status meeting. And then Kevin, you and I traveled over to Monte Vista on the 18th to attend the CTSI update meeting. Thought that was worthwhile, good trip. On the 22nd, I attended my first board meeting of the tripartite board, which is the governing body for the community service block grant dollars that we get. 4 counties, Lake, Chaffee, Fremont, and Custer. And we had that meeting down Canyon City at the UCOG offices. Well, that was interesting. We were scheduled, of course, to have the Board of Health meeting on the 24th. We did not have that meeting,
Technical difficulties, I heard.
so. Then on the 25th, I went down and did the tour of the company that is now building affordable housing. They're part of that shed company that builds those sheds there by the airport in Florence. Very impressed with that. Carol Weihinger and I both attended that, and they have got some cool things going on. $145 to $175 a square foot, depending on the size of the house. So very competitive in the square footage price. Of course, that's not having the house set. That's out the door down there. So I think that
All sizes come.
yeah, they ranged from 704 square feet, which is what they call their single wide modular. And I think I gave my book to somebody else that had all those square footages in there, but I think
Story they built stacking.
single story, a double wide, I think was around 1,600 square feet. 704 square feet was 99,000 out the door down there. And I think their biggest one was 146,000, something like that. So very interesting. They employ 11 people, and so they'll be the player. I said, well, what if we were to put a down payment on something today? He said, well, we wouldn't start it until November and you wouldn't get it until late February. I said, oh, okay. So he said, we're booked up for starting homes until November. So anyway, I'm glad I went. Good. Good project going down there. So, and then on Thursday evening, I went over to the scholarship night for the high school and presented Board of County Commissioners Colorado Opportunity Scholarship Initiative scholarship to Haley Namath was the recipient of that. They changed that format a little bit this year. I presented on behalf of the Board of County Commissioners, and then I think I was told somebody was going to present on behalf of the Rotary Club, but I stayed until everybody presented, and I don't remember them saying anything about that scholarship. So I'm not sure what happened on the Rotary side, but anyway, it was for $2,900. So I think we budgeted $1,500 and they matched that basically. $1,450 was our contribution. So that comes out of the Colorado Department of Higher Education offices in Denver. So that was a matched dollar grant. So that I thought that was nice. They did a very good job, had a dinner, and they're doing a good job with that. And I did submit our expense invoices for the Custer County Recycle mini grant that I wrote, but she sent me an email back over the weekend and said, we can't reimburse you for those expenses until the project is 100% complete. I wrote this grant as a mini grant for the roof project, but originally she said, yeah, if you got your invoices, go ahead and send them in. But then she said, I'm sorry, I misled you. So I'll resubmit those and we get that done. And I hope to have that cardboard done, storage barn done by the middle of June. So we'll send those reimbursements in. It was $5,000 for that mini grant. So $13,000 for the total project. So, got that done. I also posted, Thursday, the advertisement for the RFP on bidnet.com. Asked them to have that posted by the 25th for our sidewalk project. That was for the engineering and design phase of that. And so, that has to be posted for 3 weeks. So I put in the appropriate dates for when I'm gonna deal with that. And, I think, I don't remember, I think it's June 16th that we're scheduled, maybe June. That's the end of June, I think, is when the deadline for them to submit. Yeah, I have open bids on the June 29th. So I'll get that on the agenda. So we got that done, which was kind of a big deal to get that in because we needed to get that 3-week window covered. So that's pretty much what I have, sir. Oh, and then the Custer County Recycles had a float in the parade. I loaned them my flatbed trailer and they loaded a
Couple bottles or trash
Yeah.
cans and some bottles.
a bale of cardboard, a bale of aluminum, and a bale of steel cans. So
Yeah.
they had sent me some pictures of at a graduation out of town. So they said they were pretty well received, so that was nice.
Yeah.
They're planning on doing that 4th of July parade as well. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Commissioner Kenda.
Yeah, a couple things. The biggest item right now that I've been involved in is this property tax issue that's at both county with the county, property assessments increasing because of proposed tax increases or the lack of tabor or the lack of boosting or whatever you want to call it. So I got a hold of 11 taxing districts in the county, and we got Jennifer, we'll be working, scheduling a meeting so that all of us are together. And with our Senator Baisley as well as Stephanie Luck, and we'll have a discussion on how we can handle that. There's several ways which look logical, and one of which for the near term would be for us to be able to take our mill levies down as they increase the cost, so it would balance it out. That's the start. But there'll be more to that, and we'll explain that to everybody. So that even though your assessment looks like it's a 30% increase to 80%, it'll be adjusted once JD gets the numbers figured out in August on what the actual increase should be for allowing for inflation and the taxes that we are paying. Then we'll know how to handle that before the election. So stay tuned for that. It's a big deal. And along with that, the airport is preparing for Airfest, so you'll see a lot of that coming out, and I think you're working with them, aren't you, Jennifer?
They haven't,
They want to post the time.
yeah, I was gonna reach out to them this week.
Yeah, and the crack seal is, now that the weather's gotten warm and the rain has slowed up, they are gonna get it done before the end of the middle of the month is what they're projecting. We'll see what happens, and the certification on that fuel tank is the guy certified it, the electrician did okayed it, and now they're calibrating it. Museum at Silver Cliff opened up. Everybody saw that. That was pretty cool. We got to shut down highway for a ceremony that Buck Wenzel, the mayor, did, and I thought he did a great job.
Mhm.
It was a good thing that hadn't happened. And they all got lucky because they laid down that new asphalt high enough that made they got a free ride on the parking lot for the town hall as well as Tony's because it was 4 inches higher and they had to get it up there and blend it in. So they gave him a big break, and that was real good work with CDOT on that to work that out.
Can I dovetail real quick?
Sure.
I talked to the project engineer because they had a little pizza thing over at Tony's after the open house, and so I got to visit with him a little bit and told him that we were all very pleased with the quality of work and the progression. I mean, they're knocking out 3 miles a day, 3.5 miles.
Can't believe how fast they're doing it.
That's what that's.
And still quality work.
Yeah, exactly. And that's
Usually
exactly
it's a
the
thin layer and
message
they,
I conveyed to him, that I thought we were all pretty impressed by how quick they were doing. And he said, yeah, they're really striving to get that mileage up every day to keep that up there. And
I guess the
keep
penalty
the
really
weight
pushed
them down. So then he said, I don't know if you know this or not, but as soon as we get done down in Wetmore, we're coming back up here to the intersection of the highways and overlaying another 1.5 inches
Where?
on top of that, all the way back to Wetmore.
on just 96.
Yeah,
They're
'cause
gonna
this one here is a
overlay the
little
second.
thin if it was their only.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
thinking of saying they quit. I thought they didn't. When did they start? I mean, where it starts doesn't seem right to me.
Right, I think because of the open house and all that, they wanted to start up there and get that done.
That's why.
He said they're gonna come back downtown and overlay.
I was wondering if that
everything
was,
again,
it
so.
has to be.
Yeah, I had not heard that there was gonna be a double overlay. They did the same thing on 167, they overlaid that and then they went back and overlaid again. So it'll have a 3-inch overlay on it when they're done.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that should help a bunch. I was afraid that thin overlay, this initial overlay, especially down there in the hard scrabble and the curve, would start to go to pieces because that water runs across the road. so
Well, and the
bad.
shoulders too, they were sitting on the ground.
They didn't mill out a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, so I was pleased about that they're gonna overlay that again. Sorry, I forgot to report that. Go ahead, Bill. Sorry for the.
No, I agree.
interruption.
That was why I brought it up. Yeah, oh, and the ops manager at the airport is on the job, doing a good job. So everything's fine there. Also working with Robin and Jennifer. There's a new grant. I put it on the agenda for today. It's just a quick look. We're not going to spend a lot of time on it, but it's there is the EMPG. Don't confuse it with what we've already approved, because this is another opportunity. First, and they'll explain that, but it requires a match, and that's why she wanted to bring it up for us to take a look at and think about whatever the timing is. Additionally, she did interview for an assistant OEM position, part-time thing. So I asked, we need to get it on the agenda because it affects us, because one of the candidates is our own Jennifer back here. And so that impacts how we would have to handle that. Of course, she can't go anywhere until all things are done here.
I have the chain.
And everything here must continue. If, and we have to figure out how that would be and time it with who we can get to replace her. But we'll see how that plays out. The maintenance contract, we will consider on our next meeting, as you all know, still in work. And I did run by, along with that, we need, I know that now that we have a new attorney, which is a good thing to have, we need to figure out when are we, or he's going to do the first month meeting, is that right? Yes. Attend that on by way of Zoom, and in some cases here in person. I think he's going to try to hear it on this. What I heard him say. And the Memorial Day ceremony on Sunday was really great. Couldn't have had a better day. Last year, you went, remember you froze to death and you got blown off out of your chair and couldn't hear them. It was amazing this time. And I'll tell you, it really pointed out, it was very good. Even the airport participated. Brian Anderson flew his T6 over in memory during the taps, playing taps. That was fantastic. So think about it. You had the blue sky, the mountains there, the trees and the flags. What a picture that was. I would have thought of you, Debbie. We should have gotten a picture of that. I mean, it's fantastic.
Maybe Richard did.
Well, they did. He was there taking a lot of pictures, so you ought to tap him and see what is there. It was a beautiful day. So, and it was a very good ceremony by all over there. And let's see what else. Oh, no. The last thing is just, Upper Ark moved their meeting to the 9th. If you want to make a note of that, instead of on Thursday, it's Friday.
Upper, all your
Water Conservancy District.
water, okay.
They
Yeah.
moved it to Friday, the first Friday,
What's
the
that?
9th, or the 9th, the 9th.
Ninth. It was the first, they just moved it to Friday for this meeting in particular.
Okay,
I'm still working with them. We'll get them up here to talk about the raising the level of Lake Louise 4 feet. So everybody understands what that means, and it doesn't impact anybody's homes or anything, so. But it gives a lot more water to be used. And that's it for now. I'm sure I'll think of a couple other items as we go along.
Alrighty. You guys covered most everything here. The only other thing I would add from myself would be, I did attend the SCED meeting on the vote on their broadband. And that vote did pass on the plan that they had for their participation in the broadband moving forward. And
And they did not interfere with us, they said.
it's not supposed to.
Yeah.
So
But we got. to keep
they
our-
they are taking pursuing an ownership role on the middle mile. Which I questioned that. And
Whatever that means.
rather than a come alongside in partnership role with the ISPs that would actually take ownership now. If SCED takes ownership, then they would be leasing that middle mile to the ISPs.
It ain't gonna happen on ours.
It shouldn't happen on ours. I think ours is a totally separate.
Standalone. Good.
Uh,
That is interesting, huh?
But because of those questions, I actually did vote against that. But it did pass.
Yeah, I would question that. That's the government owning a utility. That would be leasing it to the people up. I mean, that doesn't make sense.
So,
Interesting.
and one of the other questions I had, because it had been voiced to me, was I'm trying to think of the name of the outfit that was working with SCED to develop this.
Oh,
Forgive me, it's not on the top of my head right now, but it was questioned whether or not they would be allowed to bid as an ISP on this, and that is not the case. They will not be allowed. So that took care of some of those questions, but anyhow, that's other than the other things, I thought the grand opening of the museum went very well also, and UCOG, and I was at the opening of the museum when you guys toured that facility there at the airport in Fremont County. I might try to set something up on a sidebar to do that.
Yeah, I talked to the owner and he said, you guys are welcome to come down anytime. He said, if you want to bring your housing board down, and if you don't mind while we're talking about this, I was gonna ask, I see Carol's on the call today. When you're done with your report, could we ask her for her take real quick?
I would be able to do that,
Okay,
yes.
thank you.
So yes, can you hear us, Carol?
I didn't mean to interrupt you about
I
that.
was finishing up there anyway. Carol? Apparently she's not.
Yeah, I don't know. Says she's got her camera on.
well, we're waiting to see. One thing I didn't mention on the property tax thing, there are 12 counties that are entering a lawsuit on this thing. For a couple of reasons. One is they're breaking the Colorado Constitution by putting two tax initiatives on the same ballot. So apparently there's some way in that. And also just because it's a bunch of bad things that are happening. So there is a lawsuit that I'm looking in by Advanced Colorado, and I suspect it'll be at the CCI meeting. But I got an email and a phone call to the guy that's running that, and it's Michael Fields. That's participating, working that with the 12 counties that are in it right now. And I'll pursue as we go through our resolutions and what we want to do as a county joining that lawsuit. So we'll bring that to us to consider as one of the things we've done.
Okay, thank you. Carol, can you hear us now? Guess if she raises her hand later, we can.
Busted, she's got it on and got credit for attending.
All right, so, and I'm not seeing Dan on, so if he was, I was gonna see if he had anything to give us. Jennifer, do you have anything for us?
The only thing, we just spent 4 days learning about, or 3 days learning about PIO. And with your permission, I just thought of this. Can I submit a report from that and the June meeting? Goodness, I cannot talk today. So then that way you can see some of the things that we've learned and that may need to be implemented in our county.
Yeah, if you want to put something together for us, that'd be great.
Yeah, thank you.
All right,
That's it.
thank you. That brings us to public comment. If anyone has anything to comment on that is not on our agenda, feel free to speak up at this time.
Carol Dunsmore is the Carol that's on there. I thought it was Carol
Oh,
in
okay.
there, so. He just responded.
Okay, and I'm not seeing anything in the room or online. So we have no unfinished business. That will take us on to the new business, and first item up would be the consideration of the AP and out of cycle. We need to change that on your format, Jennifer.
Says
It's
payroll.
listed as payroll, and payroll is informational, but we need to decide on AP and out of cycle.
I'll get that changed.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome home.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Looks like you got some sun over the weekend.
A little bit,
Yeah.
taking advantage of the no monsoon weekend.
Absolutely.
It was lovely.
Don't blame you.
We like the monsoon.
Oh, I love them, but it was really great to get outside
Yeah, I know it
and
is.
get some things done. Yeah, it
We
was
need the
great.
water.
No, for sure.
Let's take care of the AP first. Accounts payable.
I move we accept the accounts payable report.
I would second that. So we can move into discussion.
In the amount of $860,441.98.
8 cents. 98 cents, correct.
Okay. Discussion.
I had a question, page 17, I think it's probably for Bill. I see we paid somebody to compile a contact list for the local contractors. Is that correct?
Yeah, that was can't remember his name, Pat O'Connor. He had offered to help with that, and he had a list that he had developed that would help us get enough out there. What was it? It was $90 or whatever it was.
It's also being used in PIO for contacts. Whenever, if there were something that we needed to be able to reach out to different people in a communication thing.
When I started looking at it, you'd be surprised how many shingles got hung over the last 2 years. Everybody's a contractor. There's a lot of them out there, and a lot of them don't. Remember, I reported last time, they don't read the papers. They don't look at the websites. And so you have an opportunity, we need to reach as many as we can that are local when we do what other things we need to get a hold of these contractors. That's why I asked for it. For other things as well.
Thank you.
Anything else?
And then on page 24. Looks like we had buildings and grounds ads. Was that the ads for the contractors? Did you place those, Bill?
No, are they the ads? I think they were.
And I confirmed with you before they were coded to buildings and grounds.
Right. That was, right, looked logical to me.
Yeah, I saw that this morning and I was wondering about that. Yeah, I guess we don't have a line item for,
You couldn't think of any better place unless you put in a capital improvement or something, but it's not.
And there's not an advertising thing in
Right.
there, so.
Which is something we might think about. We'll talk to Brady about it.
Yeah. Ads and publishing or something. I submitted the RFP to the local paper as well. I haven't gotten a price on that, but we're required to post it in at least 2 different locations, so.
that might be something we need to look at for next year, because
Yeah.
Put a line in.
I think it would be beneficial for every department. to have
Everybody
a
can
line.
tap into it.
Well, because you're not the only ones that have had some sort of an advertisement that's really doesn't fall into that legal
Right.
category, so that's a good idea.
Or emergencies or whatever.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then after you see one check cut, the rest of them look fairly benign for amounts. This girl's spending our money.
I'm
Oh,
just
you.
doing my job.
that's
Just
it's
serving.
in the job description. isn't it?
This is all these guys saying here, pay this, pay this.
Exactly.
I referenced the new loader at landfill.
Oh,
Very excited
yes.
about that.
Yes,
That's great.
yes, I did see that. Yeah.
And that price included the 5-year extended warranty, right?
Yes, I
Yeah,
believe so.
maintenance.
Yeah,
And that was a one-time,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, Brian was very excited.
yeah, oh gosh, what a nice loader. Oh my gosh. Of course, there's no satisfying that boy. Now he wants to make a run at us for a compactor.
Matter of fact, somebody was running it. Well, it was a Saturday when I was out there.
Oh, yeah.
See, that's what happens when you open the door.
Yeah, and we're gonna need a compactor. There's no question about that, but I'm afraid that's gonna have to be a lease purchase deal. It's not gonna be as cheap as that brand new John Deere loader, I know that. But yeah, so I'll just check with the. See that that got taken care of. That's all I had.
anything from you, sir?
Nope.
Okay. Okay, so I do have a motion on the floor to approve the accounts payable as presented for the sum of, I'm working my way down there, $860,441.98. Those in favor? Aye.
Right.
Motion carries.
We did get a second on that, correct?
Yes.
Yes, I seconded it.
Okay.
Okay, next would be that's payroll there, so the out of cycle. Be the second document that you have in your packet there in your email.
I mean, we accept the out-of-cycle checks and report is reported for the amount of $31,253.37.
Second,
Okay, so I have a motion on the floor to approve the out of cycle checks for $31,253.37. Discussion on those.
which includes tourism's.
They do, yeah. But Debbie was good enough to let us know right away, as soon as they were told the terms of what they were going to order. We discussed it in our office and felt that their money is readily available, so we'll just do what we need to do to make that happen.
It's for the funds.
Mhm.
Good.
Yeah,
I had not heard an amount tied to that brochure, so
I'll be talking.
yeah, I'm sure you will, but now it's old information.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm glad we got that done as well.
yeah, they look great.
Okay. Anything else, gentlemen?
Negative.
Okay, those in favor of approving the out of cycle in the sum of $31,253.37. Signify by saying
I,
aye. Aye.
Aye.
note that half of it was from Debbie.
Over.
And if I could ask a quick question,
You may.
First Net,
Mm. Yes, well, that's supposed to be done in time, but that department was struggling to get that in on time.
and so is First Net the cell tower,
FirstNet is the cell phones that the
emergency service?
emergency services sheriff's department uses.
And did each department get charged on that or not? It's 10, it's 10.
I
so
saw that, yeah,
we're-
yeah, they do. It's that $3,000 number is the main number, then it's broken within all the
That's why I'm
departments. Yeah, yes, exactly.
Okay.
Mhm. Normally-
Yeah. Unless you're very familiar with, and I know that you are with the codes, it's hard to tell who got
Right.
billed for that, but,
Right.
okay. Thank you.
And I think I would just throw out. Thank you for all of the extra added effort put in, because I think we're all aware in this room that CIC was down for what, a week and a half,
2 full weeks.
2 full weeks,
And
and
she took off, because,
no,
No,
so kudos
thank you.
for getting everything done by the end of the month. I know that was
Yeah.
very, very difficult, so.
Teamwork makes the dream work, but now we got it done. We were
So,
outworked.
I know, speaking probably for everyone in the county, we are all glad that you got the
I
paychecks
mean,
done in time.
You know, people get funny about money, so you've got to keep it going.
Money
That's
So money walks.
had a plan, we had a plan, if things didn't come back on in a timely fashion, we had a plan. To get payroll done without it, and we had a plan to get AP out without it.
Heck of going electronic. When the escalator stops, you gotta learn to walk.
You got that right, so we've got a plan. I'm
Yeah,
glad we
leave
didn't
those
use
stairs.
it, but you
Do
know.
not get rid of your plan, because
No.
one of these days it will happen. that
Yeah,
way.
yeah, well, this just really kind of brought it to the forefront on how
Cool.
real that could be, so
But thank you. I mean,
Oh, you're
it's
welcome.
greatly appreciated.
my pleasure, I'm glad it worked out.
All right. Thank you.
Awesome. You're
Right,
welcome.
thank you.
Thank you
Have a
very
great
much.
day.
Hey, you too, thanks.
See you later.
See ya.
Okay, we now have the discussion on the tourism update. So we will bring Miss Adams up to the front.
Morning, Bill.
Good to see you, Debbie.
Good morning.
Do we have an official timer?
No,
Okay.
but I will talk fast, but this is not my 5 minutes.
Wait a
The
minute.
gift bag,
Doesn't count.
no, the gift bag for the CCI symposium. I do want to acknowledge the businesses that we went to, All the Range, Big Nugget Farm, Colorado Earth Sense, Lollipop and Company, Peregrine Coffee Roasters, and Willow Wind Farm. And Mr. Flower has donated this lovely sculpture, and we did do this for less money, $125. Okay, so I will have a bag, and who's gonna be responsible?
I'll take it if you.
Okay, so I will
Thank you.
do that. Okay, so.
Unless you want to haul it up, it's up to you.
It's fine.
I got
That way it'll break your windmill, you can fix it.
2/3 less luggage than I suspect you will have.
Yes,
You notice I didn't say half.
I did.
Okay, so tourism has been very, very busy, and I have a long list of things I want to share with you, and then the information that's in the folder that I just gave you. First off, we did not receive the CTO management grant that we were going to use for the past and present booklet, but we had already put this in our budget if we didn't get the grant. So even though we didn't get the grant, we moved forward with it. It was very competitive. There were 40 applicants. A score of 75% or higher received funding, and we had a score of 70.5. There was nothing lost by trying. So I don't know if you've had the opportunity to look.
What is that based on?
Oh, there's all different criteria. And so we had certain
Whether you meet
percentages.
certain
Um,
population or quality? Or
no,
or
no,
theme?
I don't know it offhand, but I'm happy to send you an email with
No, I'm
what
just
the,
curious.
yeah. I mean, we scored very well on community involvement, but it seemed that we had a lot of lack of detail. So we know that for next time. And then, so the past and present booklet has been completed and it is in circulation. We are very proud of the booklet. We've already distributed close to 5,000 copies. There are boxes of 140 that have been distributed throughout
Let
town.
me interrupt you there.
Yes, sir.
Who do you distribute it to? But more than just in the county, right?
Well, at the moment, it's just in the county. We just got the boxes on
You
Thursday.
want people to come to the county. That's your job, right?
Well, that is true, but this is kind of expensive to mail out and those boxes are really heavy. So this is something that is available at the library, at the town halls, at the museum, at all aboard Westcliff, Beckwith Ranch.
So that's good. But is there a way to get maybe soft copy? Maybe like we're going to be at CCI kind of thing. You could
Oh,
get-
would you like a box?
Well, no, but you could get a, you can get these, sticks, the electronic, soft copies.
Oh, so this.
Somewhere to get outside the county so people can know, boy, I'd like to go visit that.
Well,
See
this is available as a download on our website.
Yeah.
I will say that it's much nicer to turn the pages, but it is great to look
Oh,
on a large
absolutely.
computer screen. So it is available.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make sure we get people wanting to come to.
Are you sure?
As opposed to everybody saying, I love this, I'll put it on my library and I'll show the people
Yeah.
that come to visit me.
Yeah. Well,
This is great.
short-term rentals are picking it up. Westcliff Inn picked it up. Ravens picked it up. So people who are coming into town, this will be available. I could have sworn I turned that. Is that?
I'm
me?
reaching in and hitting a button.
I could have sworn I did that.
All right, thanks.
So the other thing that is new is the town map. So this gets printed every year. And I just want to acknowledge the lovely Lisa Vivens. She did the cover photo. So we're happy about that. In your packet, I also did include the old then and now. That is what this has replaced. Okay. We have also given out marketing grants of $6,750 to 7 organizations to help promote their events out of county. We have also, and this is all in your folder, we have created marketing brochures for all aboard Westcliff, Beckwith Ranch, Trails for All, High Country Recycling, Altitude Fitness, and we are still working on the Silvercliff Museum and the Westcliff Center for the Performing Arts. That is in progress. We have greatly refreshed our visitwetmountainvalley.com website with new images and content. Another thing that is connected to the website, for many years, there was a website called westcliff-colorado.com that was top of the Google search, even though the website was quite out of date. We tried acquiring it before COVID and just could never get anything happening. They also wanted too much money, but that was years ago. And so we knew that the license was coming up. So we connected with GoDaddy and we were able to secure that URL for $1,500. And so now that particular URL goes automatically to our website. So that was a big thing because that website was on the top of Google. So now we're on the top of Google.
The website name was,
Westcliff-colorado.com.
surprised you had to buy it back. That's
Well, so somebody owned it. I can't remember his name, but it was hurting us because the information was so out of date. So, nothing's for free.
Yeah.
It's not like they would give it to us. So when we originally inquired, it was $2,500. So we felt that $1,000 less was worthy. It was actually $1,250, but then there was a finder's fee that you had to pay GoDaddy. Just so you know, new offerings in the county that have never happened before. There's Custer County Jeep Rentals, which is done by Custer County Supply Company, but Custer County Jeep Rentals is a separate entity of theirs. There's Ram Outdoor Adventures in Silver Cliff that are now renting e-bikes, and they will also rent fishing, hiking, camping gear in the near future. And then San Isabel Lodging now rents kayaks, paddle boards, and they have one pedal watercraft. So the thing of rentals being available is a new thing for the county. So we're excited about that, and we will be promoting it. And this is all just so you know what's going on in the county. There are new owners of the Courtyard Country Inn, Chappie's, Tony's, Patio on Main, but they won't open until 2024. Wild Iris Gallery has reopened in a bigger space on Main Street where all the range used to be. And in speaking to him over the weekend, he said his first day open there was better than any day he ever had in his old location. So it was a very successful weekend for many businesses. And then a fine art gallery has opened where Wild Iris used to be. And then Zita's has also opened where Wine Mine used to be. And all have been very well received. We also have a new event coming up at the end of September that will be of a very large magnitude. It is called the Equus Film and Art Festival. It's at the end of September and it celebrates everything horse. The Equus Film Festival is something that goes on around the country, and Melody De Benedictis has brought it into Westcliff, hopefully to be an annual event, and it's really huge. It will definitely stimulate the economy at the end of September. The Welcome Center opened on March 31st. Ambassadors have already staffed 95 hours so far with 86 visitors and 142 locals. I did host an appreciation happy hour for a dozen volunteers at Zita's. I think it is important to acknowledge the time that volunteers give to the Welcome Center. We are also offering a webinar on June 6th about how to stand out on Google with a business profile. We are pursuing organic growth of gravel riding. Gravel riding is basically taking not quite a mountain bike, not quite a road bike, but a bike that loves dirt roads, and we have plenty of those. Many places around here like Pueblo, Trinidad, San Luis Valley, they have invested $40,000 to develop it, and we're trying to develop it organically with the help of someone who rides bikes, establishing routes, putting them in an app, and then just letting people know that we have a lot of dirt roads. Let's see, we have supplied 50 welcome bags to Alla Prima Westcliff, which happens next week for visiting artists. We were happy to do that. I just want to put a little bug in your ear that the SIPA mini grant is opening on June 1st. with regard to that Granicus short-term rental identification that I know I've spoken to all of you about. So I'm hoping that the county will consider this a good opportunity to kind of round up the short-term rental market here in Custer County. We do have a paid social media campaign to create awareness of the Wet Mountain Valley. And from that paid social media campaign, we have not done paid social media in quite a while. I'm not a big fan, but it's just something you have to do. And it has increased our website visitation by 50% compared to last year. So we've been organic for a long time, but we put a little bit of money into social media. And what we have established is that social media spending in the future will be based on 10% of the lodging tax revenue from the previous 2 years. So like when we establish our 2024 budget, we will look at what the revenue was for 2022. So that was $78,853, which means that $7,885 will go towards social media spending. And so by having a 10% established, there's no question how much are we going to spend. That's what we're going to do. A summer campaign will promote a getaway giveaway. We have a $2,500 value for that. And that is to promote specifically off-season visits between October 15th and April 15th. We are constantly asked to stimulate the off-season, but that's a tough sell in this town. Many businesses have contributed things to go towards it, including 3 nights at Ravens. We will have no board meetings in June and August because of conflicts with personal calendars. Oh, I did want to pass around. I just wanted to, another thing that we're doing, and now I'm going to talk about money. So just pass that around. So,
Do that.
yes.
Hey, slow down the train.
Hey, I got 5 minutes.
I appreciate that. I want to slow down. How much more time?
I don't
We can
know.
have an intermission.
Yes,
10
Bill.
seconds.
What can I answer?
Well, a lot of it, you're saying promote the valley,
Yes.
Wet Mountain Valley.
Yes.
Valley. What about San Isabel? What about?
Oh, they're all included.
I know,
Yes.
but it comes across to the casual observer that, it's all about the valley. How do you highlight? San Isabel's got a lot of cool things in that park. It's the very first park in the United States ever to have a campground in Roosevelt's time, whatever it was. I know it's in there.
Yeah, so it's in here, but we did brand ourselves as the Wet Mountain Valley, and we did that a few years ago. I think we did it before COVID. I'm losing track of time, but we do. So
No, I don't have a problem. with
No,
that. I
no,
just
but
wanna
with
make sure
social
that the
media-
websites are including everybody.
everything's there. So like, have you been on our website?
What website? Yeah, I actually did pull it up, but I haven't explored it.
Explore it. So like, under recreational, we have recreational lakes, and we actually mention Lake Isabel first. And then in our social media post, so I actually just went up to San Isabel yesterday to deliver
Good.
things and have a update with them. They have a lot going on. I mean, this is one owner who owns Aspen Acres Campground, San Isabel Lodge, and Pines Lodge. And so they're doing some rebranding themselves, but we definitely promote Lake Isabel because it's the wilderness. And I personally think it's a nicer lake than Deweese. Deweese has its limitations because you have to be fishing on it.
That's a bummer. We used to water ski.
Oh, really?
That's where I learned to water
Oh,
ski.
wow. But you can't, there's no motorboats on there.
I know
anymore,
they
so-
banned them for some
Oh,
reason.
yeah.
Fishermen didn't like the
Yeah,
lake.
no, we definitely push San Isabel. Now Wetmore, what can you say about Wetmore?
Well, they've got.
Kingdom.
What?
It's the kingdom.
That's right.
But I mean, like, okay, there's a place you can stop and read some signs.
Well, what you could do is go see Chuck Staggerwald. He can give you some, who he is.
I know the name.
They have a real neat, they have a lodge that he still has it, but a lot of history there, and he can give you some more things maybe to add to the color of the area down there.
Huh.
Beverly
Seriously.
Lodge right next to, it's right at Ophir Creek.
right? Yeah, going up, and he's on the left.
Right at Ophir Creek, is that when you turn off of 165?
No,
Yeah. You turn off to go up Over Creek onto the green.
yeah, right before that.
Oh,
But anyway, it's.
there's an operating lodge?
It's not operational at this time.
No,
Oh.
but he's open. They told me they're gonna do picnics in the summer.
Oh.
But anyway, me talking about the history is my point.
Yeah.
He's got just a.
But
plethora.
if you could, you might let him know to reach out to us. I mean, we'll share the information of anything that is
Chuck's not the
something to
kind of
do
guy who's
here.
gonna pick up on that.
He's not the type.
Very helpful.
Is he gonna answer the phone?
He will answer, and he loves to talk.
You will answer.
He will.
He will answer the phone. Well, then you share me his number
Because he-
and I'll give him the call.
I will.
Okay, so as far as money, tourism has been very active with spending money this particular quarter. We did start out with a balance on May 1st of over $90,000 with 50% of our budget spent and 25% of revenue received. So yes, you saw that out of cycle check for 18,829, which was for 10,000 past and present booklets. We were going to print 15,000, but we were concerned about storage. So we went.
Cheaper by the number though. right?
Yeah, yes, a little bit, but we were concerned that we wouldn't have the storage in the annex, so we just went for 10,000. At the moment, 5,000 are in the garage and 5,000, but half of them have already disappeared, are at the Welcome Center. And we did have to pay $706 for historical images. One comment that I will make about putting this booklet together is it's kind of sad how Custer County is not well represented in the archives of photographs. Just very limited as to what is available. So I worked with the library, West Custer County Library and Jenna. And when you go on their website, so there's the West Custer County Library collection, and then there's the Westcliff Schoolhouse collection, and there's the Silver Cliff Museum collection. The problem is at the moment, and Jenna and I hope to solve it, nobody knows who's in charge of the Westcliff Schoolhouse collection, and nobody knows who's in charge of the Silver Cliff Museum collection and where the collection is. So it's a mystery that we hope to solve. I have been in touch with Marcy Gray,
Mhm.
and she thinks something is upstairs at the Westcliff School, but it's not accessible yet. So we hope to solve that because the only photos we can use in the booklets were ones that we had permission from. I do appreciate the families, the multi-generational families that provided some fun photos, fun to look back on. I did tell you about the GoDaddy transfer. We have new town maps. That's $739. We got 2,000 copies. That will be gone by the end of the summer. We are celebrating the Rainbow Trail. And this is a $3 donation that goes towards Trails for All for the work that they do on the trails. And you do have an example of everything in your packet. A few of us will be walking around the town on Friday just to kind of make sure that everybody's happy and provide them whatever they need with business. The one thing we did with the sheriff's department, and that was that thing that I was passing around. Where'd it go?
Oh, I was gonna take it.
Oh, no, that's not for you. You know, I bet you Rich will give you one though. So Rich reached out to us wondering how can tourism help the sheriff's mounted posse. I believe that mounted posse will be in the July 4th parade. And so what we offered to do, and it cost us $1,040, is we have horse blankets. We got 6 horse blankets, and on the horse blanket will be the Wet Mountain Valley logo, as well as the Custer County Sheriff logo. So the only problem with these is that you couldn't get just 6. You had to get 30. So basically it's a donation to the sheriff's office that they can use these patches however they wish. I've given you all a patch in your packet for the Wet Mountain Valley. So that was our contribution, marketing with the sheriff's mounted posse. And good to know, these are made from recycled plastic. Who knew? And also the company, this company Outpatch is a veteran-owned company. We needed new window shades in the Welcome Center. I told you about the CCI gift bag. And then the one thing I want clarification on, just because I know there's a particular citizen who's watching every move I make in tourism. So we had an outreach where on my credit card, I put $271.15 to pay for the appreciation of the Welcome Center ambassadors. And then according to our bylaws, members of the CCTV shall not receive any compensation for their services, although they may be reimbursed for out-of-pocket expenses incurred in the performance of their service. And so I just want to have, I guess I'll say, your blessing that I can be reimbursed for $271.15 for hosting the Welcome Center ambassadors.
Well, certainly can.
I'm assuming we approved that.
There's
Was
part of
that on today's?
No. This was something that I just did on Friday.
Sure, that's standard.
That's
Yeah,
normal. what
Yeah,
you
I
do
just
then.
wanted to make sure because
However,
I know. there's so
yeah.
much in this.
You can make, this is PIO stuff too. Our budget is $8 million from the taxpayers. It's 6 from the grants. And people are more than welcome to donate as well, and they do. So that would be a nice thing that we could account for as a check from you for the $300. Okay. No.
No, I mean.
Lots of gifts.
I-
Gifts are accepted, Debbie.
I hope you, I hope you are happy with the direction that tourism is going and the way things are being run, the way the money is being carefully spent. And, I'm giving you a report because none of you ever show up to the meetings, which is fine.
Actually,
It's fine.
you should give us a report. All the committees do, and that we expect, and I was gonna mention that too. So thank you for doing it.
Right.
You need to do it regularly.
Well, like how regular do you want
We
it?
have reports once a month if you got something to update.
Well, I don't think we're, maybe
No, that's
maybe
not-
twice a month. I mean,
No.
twice a
That's
month,
up to you.
twice a year.
If there's something to, and I'll tell you why. This is my perspective. Unless Tom, you and Kevin want to give yours first, because I've been taking too much time. But my perspective is this. Your job is to promote the county. And I get calls all the time. What's tourism doing? How are they promoting it? So, there's 2 ways. One is you've got a lot of things that you're here, but to promote it, and maybe it's actively working, maybe PIO stuff, because there's things that we could do, and we need to take advantage of the public information that we can have outside the county as well. So, you can say what's happening in the valley. It could be anything that would, to bring people from the outside in. And I know that having things here already, like nice things to see and go walking tours, but if they don't know about it first, they can't get here, they don't know what they're missing.
This is the thing that goes out the most. So this is in all the
Yeah.
CTO welcome centers, of which there are 11.
Don't misunderstand. What I said.
No,
You've
but-
got stuff that is going out. But
Yes.
More people, but they don't see that. Deborah.
Who doesn't? The people?
People that come to me and say, well, what is tourism doing? Well, then, there's a lot of things. Well, if they're building a trail, haven't been proven a trail, which you can do, maybe, it depends on how we vote to control some of that money. But the more we can use and say, we got better trails now, how do they know? See, I mean, what would bring them in here? We got some of the great things have been sponsoring these, like the end of the tour of the bike tour over the
Right,
road, the 100
right,
mile
the
tour, stuff
Rockies
like
in
that. That gets people
2015.
that really know people from everywhere say, oh, Westcliff, where is it? And they-
Right.
and they came.
Right,
That's all I'm saying.
right.
You're doing a great job.
Well-
Keep it up, but I'm just saying. keep
So
it
when
wide
someone
spectrum.
asks you, what are they doing? They can go to the county website and look at all the minutes.
Mhm.
Because we are one of the few boards that actually has monthly minutes, and they're good minutes. They have everything that's going on. Now, I know that there might be, I don't know, half of the population that's not really happy about tourism.
Well, they don't benefit directly from, people that do are people like that own businesses that sell stuff to tourists or meals. That's
Yes.
big.
Yes. Yeah, But we are, keep in mind, we do a lot of out of county advertising. Our newsletter now goes to almost 8,000 people right now. And then social media, we're in the thousands, and this paid social media campaign was basically within a reach of 300 miles around where we are. So we are definitely doing a lot of out of county, but you know, it's a challenge to compete with the other places, all the places that we will never become. Westcliff, San Isabel, we're a place where you come to really wind down
Right,
more
you're
than
not-
pump
You don't
up.
want to go to a big city. If you do, go to them.
Right, well, and everything closes at 8 o'clock.
I hate to
We
cut
gotta-
you too
Yeah,
short,
yeah,
but
yeah.
we're
Do
already
you-
over 25 minutes, so.
Hey. Any questions?
I think you're doing a great job. You guys
So,
are volunteer organization, killing it.
Thank you. It's fun. It's fun. So thank you very much, and I'll give you a report twice a year.
Thanks for
Good enough.
reaching the
Okay.
gift basket.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
yes, thank you very much.
I'll put
for
that in a
putting
bag.
Together.
Thank you.
Thanks, Deb.
All right.
Okay.
We've got to get some oxygen back in this room.
Stuck it all out there. She said a lot there. All right, next we'll have Robin come up. We have consideration of the Custer County Emergency Operations Plan.
Thank you, Phil.
You can still make my bet on 10:45. It's the relay team going. here.
Good morning. How are you?
Well, I don't know if I can talk as fast as the East Coaster. I will try. Where are you from anyway? Where are you from? Yeah,
I grew up in New Jersey.
New Jersey, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I got the area right.
You will see.
Okay, this is a little more serious. My job is to make sure we are in compliance with a lot of things, and so we're working on getting there. And you know, we've flipped off the hazard mitigation plan last month. We're working now on getting the approval from Board of Commissioners for the emergency operations plan that was last approved in 2017. It is a requirement, state statute, to have a emergency operations plan every 3 years. So we are moving in the right direction. This was not a total rewrite. So probably when you read through this, you probably saw very familiar looking things from 2017. And it is a Custer County, Westcliff, Silver Cliff, and special districts plan. So it's like most of the plans, instead of having an emergency manager at all those levels of government, they count on the county emergency management team to work through these kinds of processes. So the benefits, of course, is to be in compliance and be able to do grants and apply for grants with this emergency operations plan. The downside of not approving this through a resolution would be that the EMPG grant is on this. It is a requirement for EMPG to have an approved plan. So what I'm saying is that, you know, my salary, 50% of my salary, and the rest of the things that the EMPG pays for are in jeopardy if this plan is not
So
detailed and approved.
this was prepared and it had a false start, or you got a certain way and we had to redo it, right? Or had to fix some of the things. You want to just explain the process?
Well, my understanding, of course,
And
being
now
new.
we're ready to do it. Is there, and what's the remaining timeline to approve this? Are we behind the ball or not?
We're okay.
Okay.
2017, we had a resolution,
Mhm,
which is exactly the same as the one for this year.
mhm.
It's signed by Kelly, so I know it's official. The 2021, there was a plan brought forward, but apparently never officially ratified.
Couldn't you, that's what I'm asking, 'cause
Mhm.
you couldn't find where it had been, but it was still used like it had been. apparently.
Yes, I mean, you basically, what you have is what you use, and then if you have an event, then you look at that plan and say, did we do a good job of planning for that event? And then we say, oh, we need all this other stuff. So we definitely need a lot more to the plan. And that would be particularly in the area of annexes. You can develop those annexes separate, and what's nice is that they don't have to be attached to the base plan. But this at least gets the base plan approved,
Okay.
puts us in compliance for EMPG. The timeline is that it must be approved and sent to the state by the end of June. So we're, coming right upon that deadline.
Yeah.
So hopefully you've had a chance to read through it, particularly paying attention to the VOCC portions, which I don't believe anything changed.
Didn't look like it.
When Bill first started, Bill Christie started down this road, he did request input, and all of those changes were made from the departments. We have gone over briefly some of those changes at the CES meeting. And then our next CES meeting, we will do a brief out on the new plan so that everyone gets an orientation to the new plan.
And so today you're looking for us to approve this and sign this resolution 2302,
Yeah.
correct?
Well, if you want to see the 2017 resolution. I've got it.
And on page 77 is where the signatures are. So where's it go? It says Board of Chairman here, Custer County. Who's the incident commander? Is that, or is this just a sample?
This is the
It looks
sample.
like a sample.
Mhm. And this is the delegation of authority. So, we haven't had an opportunity to talk about that, but in the event that it
So these
gets
are all
bigger.
samples.
these are samples, so that instead of saying, oh, let's make this up,
Okay, that's fine.
we would have a sample of a delegation of authority if it, for
Okay.
example, an
If
incident
it needed.
management team comes in.
And so today, what do we sign? Did she run this by me? Yeah,
No,
nobody.
Well, I would move we adopt resolution 23-02.
I'll second it.
Okay, so I do have a motion on the floor to adopt resolution number 2302. A resolution to adopt the 2023 emergency operations plan for Custer County, Colorado. That will take us to discussion.
I see the 2017 one.
Sure.
Actually.
I think verbatim, the same, other than the names of the commissioners.
Is it a bigger font? 'Cause it-
Yeah, it's a little
pages.
bigger font. If we are getting younger, right?
Yeah.
At least I'm.
Well, thanks for doing all this.
A lot of good work.
And you're waiting to get it approved by the towns until after we approved it. Is that correct? Is that my?
Correct, I'm on the Round Mountain water agenda for June. And we'll be getting on the Wet Mountain Fire and the two towns.
Is that attached as an annex? Their with their plan or their
It's,
whatever.
it's actually in here at the beginning. It just shows that we have all that support. We actually insert that.
Yeah.
What we will send to the state though, prior to that is the requirement is to have the county resolution.
Yeah.
So we'll send plan and the county
Yeah,
resolution,
then-
ship it off to the.
So that'll be
state.
good, and then that other stuff can be added.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is what we did with the hazard mitigation plan. Worked well.
Page 12, 13, and 14, and 15.
Mhm.
Well, 12 through 16, actually.
Yeah.
Any further discussion?
Me.
I would ask for anything from the room, but I'm not seeing too many extra people in the room now. I'm not seeing any hands online. So those in favor of adopting resolution number 2302, a resolution to adopt a 2023 emergency operations plan for Custer County, Colorado, please signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. And I'm assuming the number's right on the resolutions.
Assuming too.
She doesn't know yet, because they haven't seen it. But if it's not, we'll be back.
I will let you know.
Yeah, I know I had resolution 1. I don't know what's happened in between.
Right.
Yeah, normally, yeah, you'd reach out to Kelly and ask her
Okay.
what the number schedule is.
Sorry, that's okay. Learning.
Well, I will wait to see if we have the proper number on this until before I sign. And I guess that has all three of us.
Noon.
Why don't we go ahead and sign it if it's wrong, and when you sign another one, then we don't,
Okay.
we're not.
That's
bogged
fair.
down.
That's a wonderful idea. Thank you very much.
And while we're doing that, we will go ahead and move on to our next item of business, which would be the consideration of an EMPG grant opportunity.
Okay. So this is a short suspense. Seems like everything I do is like that. But this is a special project, one-time competitive grant application offered to all EMPG eligible programs. And it's requiring a 50% local cash match and is total project of up to $40,000. So the priority projects that fall within categories are increase to local EOC capability, alert and warnings, and recovery. Recovery, we would have to work on planning, since we haven't had any recent disasters that would require recovery. But we certainly could put forward an increase to our EOC capability, as we have what's known as an EOC in a box. Because we don't have a dedicated EOC, we have to take a lot of our equipment to a building that we call the EOC. And that is a number of different places around town, depending on who else might be using that facility or how big the incident is. So the idea would be that we would have acquire more equipment, portable equipment, because that's required because we don't have a structure. And we're not allowed to do any construction projects as a part of this grant. Purchase a cache of computers that can be used in the EOC. We have a deficit in the area of some radios, and also working with other emergency services on additional things that the EOC might have for those folks that sit in the EOC. So the sheriff's office, what would they need in the EOC? I haven't had a chance to really reach out in that fashion yet, but this gives me the opportunity to say, what do you need in the EOC? Do we need maps? Do we need ICS forms? Do we need more GIS equipment? All those kinds of things that would be helpful in running an incident.
So at this time, you don't have anything specific in mind for this grant?
Nothing specific in that a large purchase, but lots of little things, a lot of things that can support our operation. And we do have $10,000 already in the budget, in the emergency services budget, for this special project.
So you need another X. What do you ask?
Another 10,000.
So you're gonna pony up the other 10 from your budget. Okay, well, I'll, in order to discuss this, I'll move that we, because this is a consideration, that we support this grant opportunity and to the amount of $10,000, not to come from. Is this, it wouldn't be a capital improvement, or is it a what would it be classified as?
We earmarked ARPA dollars for matching grants.
That's right, we did. Yeah, as a matter of fact, there's some
Actually, it was local assistance.
It's lactic,
LATC.
it was the lactic money, and I forgot. Yeah, come from that. The LATCIF.
LATCF.
Right.
And currently, if you would like, I have what has been allocated.
Not yet, let's just, that makes sense, and then we can
It would
discuss.
be good to know, make sure that there was that much in
That's
there.
right,
Well, there is, yeah.
Okay.
There is.
so I need a second. You want
I'm waiting for.
I'll second it so we can move into discussion here.
to do it or not?
So discussion.
So is there money?
In LATCF, you currently have 275,000 that's been committed for this year. Current remaining is $139,804.39. You will have in future funds $414,804.39. 200,000 of that has been committed. So in future funds, which will come at the end of this year, you will have $214,804.39 that
That's from the money
remain
that we got
available.
from the state with no strings attached.
Correct, in LATCF.
But the relevance of this conversation, we earmarked 75,000 in the grant match
Right.
for the general fund.
My one hang up isn't the right word, but
Concern.
concern would be,
Question.
I would like to see specifics as to what you're going after rather than saying, here's our $20,000, go see what you can buy with it. I would like to see you say, okay, I want to buy 6 computers. I want to buy the X number of radios. I need this for the sheriff's office when they're participating. You mentioned a lot of things that are a possibility,
Mhm.
but I would kind of like to see an item and a number
Shopping.
associated with those is where I am kind of on the fence on voting aye for this right now. I know you've got to have it in by the 16th, I see.
Yeah,
Um,
I would assume we'd get to see a copy of your grant application that would address those things.
Yeah,
specifically.
I have a copy of the pre-grant application. It's not the specificity that you
Does it
are
ask for what we want? it for?
requesting. Well,
I
It
would
says
imagine
portable
they,
equipment, you're using big general terms, but
mhm.
you can sell IE like or EG, I guess. or whatever. Kinds of things. you know.
because they were wanting to probably know that on their end as well, when you
Sure.
put that grant in, correct, or they're not gonna do it.
Yes, and
It
the
can be
things,
an open-ended shopping list that has, but there's specifics that's
right,
tied with money.
So
it
the
can be
way
more or
that-
less.
the scoring will work would be that if it includes requests from the integrated preparedness plan, the
Mhm.
Colorado Emergency Preparedness Assessment, or an after-action report. We haven't had a recent incident, but an after-action report could be from an exercise with gaps. So they're really looking to
Well,
fund
and
gaps.
specify, if it still applies, if even if it was 2 years ago and we had a bunch of problems because we
Right.
didn't have enough beds or enough radios or
Right.
enough spare tires on cars that were getting flat, whatever. You can list them, I would think.
Yes. It's a matter of pulling out those things and tying them back to a Colorado Emergency Preparedness
Can
Assessment.
you do it?
Oh, yeah. Again, this situation is a short suspense. Not only to get the grant in, but also has to be spent in hand, invoices paid by October 31st.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna be looking for
No, the
anything that's
suspense is not
complicated.
because- It's because they got this out late. It's not because we didn't see it or we screwed up and didn't do it.
It's because they had money that people aren't going
Popped out.
and
That's
it
right. So
just
they're
kinda
looking-
came
they're
back to
looking for
them
a way,
re-
use it or lose it.
reallocating, yeah.
Good.
So it's a positive.
So that would be my big thing though, is that I would like to see some.
More detail.
A little bit more
Okay.
detail on that. So, I mean,
So next meeting,
The deadline on this is the 16th of June. I didn't see that. Oh,
It is.
yeah.
16th, Friday, the June
We
16th.
can look at it on the second meeting.
basically end of day
I'm
on
Yeah.
the 16th.
If you can do it. Larry.
Are you gonna write the grant?
Yes,
So we meet on the 16th. Or sorry.
Let's-
on the
We can do it on the sixth or the seventh.
6 or 7,
not
yeah.
16th, But I
Yep,
don't know if
okay.
we have time to get it done by then.
Yeah, no, I'd rather do it then. That way I have time to finesse it. If there are things that you think are higher priority, then I could make
We're
adjustments.
looking at you as a priority unless you know something secret that you mind.
You might.
So that would be my druthers on that because. I hate to just throw it out there. And not know what that,
It's gotta be
Just
sure we
going
can
for it.
use it.
so,
Mhm, exactly.
so if we could do that, I'd appreciate that. I'd be a lot more comfortable with that then.
Very good. Works for me.
I do have a motion on the floor to approve this.
Pending an amendment.
I would entertain an amendment, or we could vote on the existing motion and
Let's adjust the motion. Say pending your suggestion, which would be to include a list. As part of it, to see what we're gonna spend it on, priority.
the prioritized list. And I would second that amendment. So I do, I'll call the vote on that amendment. Those in favor of amending the initial motion by adding pending a list from OEM with a prioritized list of what this money will go to. Those in favor of that signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
That would take us back to our initial motion, and which now would state approval of the Custer County approval of pursuing the EMPG grant opportunity with an additional $10,000. Still have the LATCF money. With providing that there is a prioritized list of where that money will be spent. And I guess that pretty much says it.
That's all right.
Any other discussion here on that? Anything from the room or online? I'm seeing no hands online. Nothing here. Those in favor of approving OEM to pursue the EMPG grant with an additional $10,000 pending a list, a prioritized list of where that money will go, signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. That motion carries. So cool. If you could get us a list, that would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, I know there's a new format for reporting coming this next month, so do you want that on staff report day, or do you want that on the whatever that?
Second.
That would
Second
actually,
day.
Is another.
Makes sense.
that would be a good, you're gonna be here anyway, because I believe you were gonna be still coming in person, correct, or were
Oh,
you?
I wasn't on the list to come in.
Okay.
I can,
We can let you come in person that
Okay.
day, and if you want to bring that to us, that would be great.
okay, super, appreciate it. Thanks very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for the thoughtful gift from your research.
Oh, yes, well, I was
Southwest.
told that the Anasazi beans were special.
Thank you. Very nice. Appreciate you thinking.
Yes,
about us.
thank you very much. Those are great.
Anything else?
Good deal.
All right,
Thank you,
I think
man.
that
thank you
will do it.
again.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Have a good conference.
We will do that. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm
Into
assuming,
those, private.
CCI? No, I've never been to CCI.
You never have
No.
been
I'm assuming your point of contact will bring you a nice gift from PCI, maybe an ink pen or a
I
notepad.
get some geek dunk for you,
Some widgets.
Yeah.
Thank you, Robert.
some booty.
Okay. Was our last item of new business. Any additional items of business, gentlemen?
No, sir.
On here.
Have a good day.
None here either. That will take us to public comment. If anyone
Think public left.
would like to have a public comment at this time, you can raise your hand online or speak up here in the room. Seeing none, I will adjourn this meeting at 10:30 a.m. Thank you.
Hey,
Amen.
what time you guys heading out?
We packed before we left, so we're leaving